Hey everyone, I'm Sam from Bio Cosplay. In this video I'm going to show you how I painted these masks. When I sculpted this mask, I intended on just doing a minimalist paint job and just highlighting the sculpt. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a base coat of Scarlet Red. This is Angelus brand leather paint. You don't have to use leather paint, I just like the color of this. And it's what I have. So I'm just going to start brushing it all over the mask. This is a filbert brush, I think. Yeah. I kind of go in like slightly circular motions to minimize brush strokes. I'm gonna put on a glove so I don't actually accidentally paint my hand. For any hard to reach places, I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush. It's the first coat of red paint. To speed up the drying, I'm gonna hit this with a hairdryer. Now I'm gonna go over it with a second coat of red paint. Alright, my mask is painted red. Now I'm gonna do a black wash over it. So I've got a little paint dish here. Just gonna do a little bit of black paint and pour in some water. And I'm gonna mix that up. I like to mix it up with the handle of the brush. And that way I can break up the clumps of the paint, and I don't have chunks of paint sitting in the brush for when I do the wash. Now I'm just going to go over the whole thing with the black wash. I may end up needing a little bit more than what I mixed. I'm just trying to make sure this gets in all the creases and crevices. Now I'm going to wipe off the black paint with some paper towels. While wiping it off, I can kind of pick and choose where I want more black to sit in there, where I want the red to show through more. I can also go back with a smaller brush and add some paint in places where I think it needs to be a little bit darker. Then again, I'll wipe that off with some paper towels, because it's less of a wipe and more of a blot. Then I'll set this aside and let it dry. I usually don't use the hair dryer on washes because it can push the thinner paint and cause little runny spots. So I just sit it and let it dry on its own. Alright, the black wash is dry. Now I'm going to clear coat it. I like to use this Rust-Oleum matte clear coat. My clear coat is dried, and with that the paint job is complete. It's relatively easy and I'm really pleased with the results. Now I'll show you how I paint a blue one. This one I just cast with some So Strong blue tint instead of the black tint that the other one had. So it came out as a light blue instead of the gray would normally come out if you use black. And for this, I'm not even going to do a base coat. I'm just going to use the blue as the base coat and do a dark blue wash over it by mixing some blue and black acrylic. And then same thing as before, I just brush it all over. I'm going to get the crevices down in the teeth first, and then I'll come in with the big brush. Then just like the red one, I'm going to wipe it off with a paper towel. And I'll go back and add some more paint in any spots I think it needs a little bit more. And then I'll let that dry and clear coat it. For this one I want to add some padding so I can wear it. I have a strip of foam cut out already. This is just an offcut from a longer strip I put in another mask. And I'm just going to glue this along the top and up in the nose. First I'm going to scratch up everywhere it's going to be glued with the end of an X-Acto knife. I'm just going to use hot glue for this. So first I'm going to put hot glue up in the nose. Take my strip of foam and try to jam it up in there. I'll kind of hold that in place while it cools, and then I'll continue to glue it just along the side here. And I'll just cut off the excess, and any hot glue that's spilled over I'll just rub until it comes off. Now I'm going to round over this top edge with a Dremel, just a stone bit. Alright, now the foam's rounded over on the top. For the straps, I'm going to use this stretch faux suede. I used it for another costume, my treasure goblin, and I just think it'll look cool with this color. I might dirty this up some with some paint beforehand. I've got some strips cut for my mask. Now I'm going to weather them. I'm just going to use some black and brown paint. I'll get some water on my brush, get some paint on it, and try to dirty these up. Just rubbing this with some water on the brush now. Now I'm going to dip this in my water just to get off some of the excess paint. And then squeeze it. I'll toss that in the dryer and we'll do the other one. Alright, my straps are dry now and I'm going to glue them on. I'm just going to glue these straight back from the jaw there. Alright, with that the mask is done. Alright, here are my painted masks. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing, and thank you for watching.